everyone else that has registered for the webinar will be able to go on and log into us while we're already going through the webinar. And this webinar is being recorded, so at any point after, maybe tomorrow or the next day, if you feel like you want to go back in and listen to it or listen to a part of it, I will be sending out the link hopefully tomorrow. If not, I will be sending it out on Monday for everyone. So you can have that and you can go back and listen to it along with the slides as well. Okay, well, welcome to the 2016 Special Olympic Maryland State Soccer Tournament. This is the pre-competition webinar. My name is Natalia Steffen, and for those who don't know me, I'm the Regional Sports Director for Central and Southern Maryland, and I'm also the Sport Lead for Soccer. Again, this webinar is being recorded. If you could please press *6 to mute your phone, or press the button on your phone that is for mute. I will open up the floor later on for questions. I promise this won't take up that much time, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, on the agenda tonight, we're going to go through the entries, schedule for the competition, the venue, rules, updates and reminders, attire and uniform reminders, what our rain plan will be in case of inclement weather, any miscellaneous items, and then question and answer session. Okay, this year, this is what we have so far registered. We have 13 teams, traditional, 8 unified, that's 77. For 5v5 traditional, we have 3. Unified, we have 5. 77 PDU, we have 2 teams, and for soccer skills, we have 41. Looking at this comparing this to last year, some numbers are pretty similar. We might have gone down maybe by just a couple people with individual skills, but everything else looks pretty similar to last year. This is the soccer schedule. Right now, this is what it will be. It could very well change. So this is rather tentative. So we have 7:30 a.m. volunteer registration is going to open. 8 a.m. delegation registration is open. 8:30, that's where we're going to have our head coaches meeting, and that will be at the control tent. And then we're also going to have our volunteer orientation as well. 9 a.m. We will have our opening ceremonies. 9:40, that's when the officials will meet for their meeting at the control tent. 10 a.m. competition begins. 11 a.m. lunch will be available for pickup. And then 4 p.m. we're estimated end of competition. Divisions and game schedule will be distributed no later than Thursday night, October 27th. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The schedule will not be distributed until, or it could be distributed before then, but no later than Thursday night, October 27th. The soccer venue, this is what it looks like. This is Crown. So you can see we have the control tent down on the right side of the screen, the brown square. Above there we have competition area. Pretty much it's the same setup we had last year. Nothing's changed. We thought we might have to move the stage, but it looks like our contact over at Crown has agreed to allow us to keep it where it is, and so that'll be good. The only thing we are changing is the number of portable bathrooms that you will be able to see here. We've added more portable bathrooms outside, as well as the dumpster that is outside by the indoor facility. As you can see, it's the same setup and everything. Another thing, one quick thing that we did change, control tent is on the other side than where it was before, and lunch distribution will also be in the tent. And we will have tables there, tables and chairs for teams if they'd like to sit there and eat lunch. And that's where we're also distributing. So this will also be all in the event guide that will be sent out next week. This is the soccer venue on the inside for individual skills. We have field 1 and field 2. We do have inclement weather plan fields in case it does rain. As you can see, also family hospitality is also located inside next to the cafe. Also, same as last year, individual skills will be awarded inside the facility. All awards for all the team sports will be outside on their respective fields once their games have been completed. Principal meaningful involvement. We've already gone through this in the preseason webinar, but I'm going to briefly touch on it just now. Quality unified sports experiences are when teams demonstrate the principle of meaningful involvement for all players. If the unified sports philosophy is not being followed, the following enforcement will occur. We have 1st through 7th violation right there, going from 1st to 4th, and then we have the 7th at the bottom. I'm not going to read through all of this. This will be sent out to everybody, but please look this over and understand that we will be following these rules throughout the competition. PDU reminders. So PDU, think of PDU as 5v5 with as 5v5 soccer with 2 coaches on the field, 5 athletes and 2 mentors on the field. Goalie must be a Special Olympics athlete. We've already, again, gone through a lot of this in preseason. I'm sure I don't need to remind people about it. Again, these will be available for you to review. But just briefly, a mentor can give verbal and visual instruction to players, give physical direction to a player, receive the ball if it comes to them naturally during the course of the game. Keep a ball in play that would otherwise go out of bounds, and other players are in any way in the vicinity of the ball. Start the offense following the opposing team scoring a goal. Escort an athlete bringing the ball down the field, but the athlete is advancing the ball. Cannot directly impact the course of the game. Give instruction that is designated to distract or confuse the opposing team, and cannot score and cannot play defense. So just a few reminders for PDU. So soccer rules updates. So uniform attire. All players must wear shin guards. Undergarments that are visible need to be sleeved T-shirts under a sleeveless jersey. Shall be of light color among all team members. This is just a uniform. Socks shall be of light colors among all team members as well. Hats or headgear may only be worn for medical or religious purposes. Shoes have soft and yielding cleats, no metal studs. Please, no metal studs. The goalkeeper shall wear colors and be distinguished on the field from the other players and for the referee. All jewelry must be removed before competition, except for medical alert bracelets that will be allowed to be worn only to be taped to the skin to avoid any potential injury. So if your athlete does have to wear a medical alert bracelet, just make sure it's taped down to their skin so it doesn't, it's not a hazard to them and it's not a hazard to other players. Pants and shorts, in case of inclement weather, varying colors may be allowed by the discretion of the games director and director of officials. We will keep you updated as the weather, as we progress towards that day, as we approach that day. We will be watching the weather and we will let you know what the weather will be, and if your athletes need to dress appropriately, remember to bring jackets, hats, gloves, that kind of stuff. Okay, so for the rosters that were submitted as part of the assessment cannot be changed. You cannot bring players from other teams to play on your team. The team that was on the team assessment that was turned in back in September is the team that is going to be your team for the state tournament. 77 teams must start each game with 7 players on the field. It can be reduced to no fewer than 5 on the field if it's deemed safe by the competition director, and 5v5 teams must start the game with 5 players on the field. Again, they may be reduced no fewer than 4 on the field if it's deemed safe by the competition director. Clothing, we've already gone through. Inclement weather procedure. If unexpected inclement weather is experienced, the competition director and the competition committee may decide to relocate some of the competition and other activities inside the Crown Sports Center facility. As I showed you on the indoor facility on the map, there were a few fields designated in case of inclement weather. So we would not only have fields inside, but we may have 5v5 games and 7v7 games going on as well. Typically, such a move would involve the skills and player development unified competitions, though depending on available space, other considerations, additional events may be relocated. Team traditional and unified play will be suspended only for extremely hazardous weather conditions. And we will keep you updated as we watch the weather, and day of, if the weather is way too bad, we will communicate with all of you as soon as we can. Okay, so do we have any questions, concerns? I know I kind of went through that a little fast. A lot of the stuff we did go through with the preseason webinar, as opposed, except for the schedule and for the venue. I'll open the floor up now. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Unmute your phone and let me know.
This is Mike from Montgomery County. Just a quick question. You showed the numbers for unified 5v5. How many of those are high school, and do you expect the high school to play traditional? I thought there was only one high school unified. Is that true?
Yes, there is only one unified high school team. What will probably happen, they will most likely play the other traditional 5v5 high school teams.
All right, that's what I assumed. I just want to make sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Hi, this is Crystal from Calvert. I have a question.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi. We had a couple players not show up to the Anne Arundel qualifier due to the inclement weather early that morning. I know those individuals have to meet the 2 qualifier requirement in order to participate in state. If they are not allowed to participate in state, that will drop me below my minimum roster number. Will those individuals be excused from participating in that Anne Arundel qualifier so that they will still be allowed to participate at state, or how will that work?
That's a great question, and I hope Lower Shore is also listening as well, because both of their teams weren't able to come because of weather issues. So as long as they've competed in 2 qualifiers, they will be able to compete at state. So as long as your team has played, in another qualifier, they'll be allowed to compete at state.
Now we only did that team only did one other qualifier, and that was in St. Mary's. So those individuals that did not come to Anne Arundel only have the St. Mary's qualifier under their belt. Or, I'm sorry, the Calvert qualifier under their belt.
Okay.
Well, there's still, I think, 2 more Saturdays of soccer league available, or you can host another team playing against you as well to make that up.
Okay. Yeah, we may have to try to set something up then, because, and actually I am out of town the next 2 weekends. So I will talk to my other coaches and see if maybe they would be able to cover something additional for me. Okay. Thank you very much.
And just one point for folks, and this was in the premise of Crystal's question, but just to clarify, don't worry about going below the minimum roster in the sense of I forget what I think the minimum was 8. As long as you have, that's mostly from a training standpoint and throughout the season to put the team together. If you show up with enough players to put a team on the field, you'll be allowed to play. You'll be allowed to compete. Yeah, now you run the risk of exhausting them if you don't have any subs. But if you can put a team on the field, you're fine. I mean, of course, and in that roster, you can't change the roster around either. But if you you're a 7v7 team, and you only have 8 players, you can still compete, but your folks are going to be running quite a lot.
Okay, one other question too. Our other teams, not my team, but one of our other 2 teams, was signed up for the St. Mary's qualifier that was canceled due to inclement weather, and we were told that one would not be made up. Do they need to set up something else as well, or is that one excused because it was deemed by the state office not to be made up?
The
From what I was
St.
told
Mary's
anyway.
qualifier, so the St. Mary's qualifier is being made up. It is actually this Sunday, the required qualifier for the 5v5 teams, and that is at Myers Pavilion in Baltimore City. So it is being made up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the only ones, I guess, to clarify that, the only folks that are I guess would be given a waiver would be the Player Development Unified or the PDU teams, since we could not fit them into the event this Sunday at Myers Pavilion, and the divisioning is obvious since there's only 2 teams that are going to have to play each other.
Okay, yeah, we don't have any 5v5s. Ours is a PDU team that I was referring to.
Yeah, the PDU is fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, this is Jamie Doggett from Montgomery County. I just have a quick question about slide tackling. So at the preseason webinar, we said we'd table that decision until later on in the season. So I'm just wondering if there's been a final ruling on whether or not slide tackling is allowed during the game.
I'm sorry. This is super boring. If you want, I can. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were showering. If you want, I can go in my room and listen to it. You want to bother him if you try?
If you're not asking a question, if you please hit *6 and mute your phone. We're hearing someone's family interaction there in the background. Natalia, do you want to go with Jamie's question, or do you want me to answer it?
Well, I mean, we presented it, the issue of slide tackling to Tom Bailey, our head official, and he was going to go through the rules and further review. I'm not sure, Mike, did he get back to you on that? Because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he got back to me.
Yeah, we discussed it on Sunday and actually in a call previously, and slide tackling will not be permitted.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And particularly at this level of soccer, that there's absolutely no call for it. So, yep.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
I had one last question. When are you sending out the schedule for that game?
For the competition?
Yeah.
The state tournament? The state tournament, it will be sent out no later than Thursday, October 27th.
All right, thanks.
Yep, not a problem. Everybody please mark that in your calendars, October 27th, Thursday, October 27th. The schedule will be sent out no later than that Thursday.
What date was that?
All right, if nobody else has any other questions, if you do have questions later on, the next couple of days, please email your regional sports directors as they're listed here on the screen, and they will follow up with you with answering your questions, or they may come to me for answers. Not a problem. Just let us know if you have any questions. We're more than willing and more than happy to help you guys and to answer anything that any questions that you have. So I'm going to
Natalia.
Yes.
I'm sorry. One with that Baltimore City and Baltimore County. Since I can see we have coaches online for that. Your person here, Ron Freeman, will be in Italy in the next 12 hours. For the 2 weeks leading up to there. So if you have any questions or any issues, contact Natalia directly. So.
Good point. Thanks, Mike. I completely forgot that he was going to be out of town.
Yeah.
Hi, Natalia. This is Lisa Michael. I know it's not about the regional state meet, but do you have the times yet for the McDonald competition? Next weekend?
Yeah, it was 9 o'clock. Lisa, it's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock a.m. Okay.
It should be over by
what time will how many
11:30.
teams are there going to be?
Yeah, it'll be over by 11:30.
11:30. Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh, and actually just one more point that I forgot to bring up that it was mentioned to me by a coach during the season. I just want to remind everybody that for Unified, for 5v5 Unified and for 77 Unified, Unified partners are allowed to score. They are just as much a part of the team as the athletes. They are allowed to score. So I just wanted to make that a point. It was brought up to me a few times during the season. So I just wanted to let everyone know they can score. They are allowed to shoot the ball and score. So if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to wrap up the webinar. Thank you guys so much for listening in tonight. I will be sending out the slides and the recording, if not tomorrow, on Monday, and the event guide will also be going out next week as well. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.